Hey everybody, it's your girl Sherry. Welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually podcast. Y'all, I know I'm late, and I know that you guys have heard it and been inundated with the news of Sean Diddy Combs and his arrest on last Monday. But I'd be remiss if I didn't get on here and talk about it from my perspective. And so we're going to get into it. I don't have a whole lot more to add than what you probably already know, but I had to weigh in and give my 2 cents in on the case. And so, right after this intro, we're going to get into it, guys. Okay, so let's get into it. So, all of you guys know that on Monday evening, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested. He goes by many monikers, as we know: Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, was arrested and charged in 3 counts indictment with racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Y'all, this indictment, unsealed, alleges that between 2008 and the present, Combs has abused, threatened, and coerced women and others and led a racketeering conspiracy that engaged in trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, among other crimes. Y'all, he is currently in a Manhattan federal prison. His bail was denied 2 times, y'all. He put up his $50 million mansion in Miami and was even willing to put up his mother's home in addition to get out. The initial bail was revoked by the magistrate. They went before the judge on last Wednesday. His attorney, who seems that he's very clear that his client is innocent. Of course, we know Sean Combs has alleged that he maintains that he is not guilty. A lot of these accusations came off of the civil suit that Cassie had brought forth against Diddy. And we know that since then, so many others have come forth. And so, y'all, I just wanted to get on here and talk about, before we get into that, let me share with you some arrest footage that we have. And then I'm going to get into it with you guys on my thoughts on things. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Hold just tight a second, please. Shout out to TMZ for this footage. You see Diddy going into that hotel, the W, and then we will see him escorted back out by 2 gentlemen. You'll see his hands behind his back in cuffs. So, yeah, you see him there being escorted out. So, all right, guys. So let's get into it. So, a lot of people are saying that, we all expected it to happen, of course. And then you hear all the jokes about the 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil, and we know about the freak-offs. There's been so many clips going around of him talking about this on Jimmy Kimmel, that he talked about. He alluded to his parties, the idea that, that there was actually a lock on the door, that they didn't have the AC on so that everyone could be hot and sweaty. Y'all, it just doesn't look good for your boy. My thoughts on the whole thing are simply this. We've all been hearing the rumors for years. We've certainly heard the rumors about the parties, the salacious parties, the private parties. You've had celebrities come forth, even if they were semi-joking. We've heard it come out. But I think what really got us all is when the footage of his assault on Cassie Ventura was revealed. Y'all, when I watched the way that he manhandled that woman, I couldn't believe it. And I said this on a podcast last year during one of our pop culture segments. I have a Diddy story. It was back in 1994. Myself and 3 or 4 other of my girlfriends from college, we went to the best HBCU in the land, North Carolina A&T University. We had gone to Freaknik in 94. I don't know if you guys caught the documentary, but I was out there in the mix. And myself and my girlfriends had found ourselves at Lenox Mall shopping while we were there for the weekend. I had stepped outside of the store that my girlfriends were shopping, and I was approached by none other than Sean Combs. Now, you have to remember, at that time, he was not the Diddy that we know now. He was getting ready, they were getting started. Mary J. Blige was out, Jodeci was out, and he was starting his record label, Bad Boy. He approached me, and he invited me to a party. He handed me a business card with Bad Boy logo. He told me that he would love for me to come. He complimented me. He complimented my fashion. And he invited me and told me to bring my girlfriends to the party, which was at the Swiss Hotel. He wrote the hotel room number on the back and told me that it was going to be a great party, that I should come, that Mary was going to be there, Jodeci was going to be there, and others. It was going to be hot. And he wanted us to be there. And then he also ended with, if you need anything in music, give me a call. And like I said, I had his card. Now, you got to remember, y'all, I was 21 years old at the time. So I was so excited. I go to my girlfriends and I'm all, again, he wasn't the big star that he is now, but he was emerging. I mean, come on, y'all. We knew back in the 90s, it was the heyday. It was the era of music. Bad Boy was emerging, and I was a huge Mary J. Blige fan. I mean, he had me at that. He had me at Mary J. And Jodeci, huge fans. But I had a really good girlfriend in my group. And she came to college a little later in life. So she was a little bit older than us. She might have been 25 when the remainder of us were 20 and 21. And she was like, we're not going. We're absolutely not going. And, I've told this story before, and I was talking to my father about this just the other day. And I said, I wonder what would have happened had my impressionable, young, dumb self had showed up at that hotel for that party. I will tell you that Homeland Security is urging those that may have stories, even to this day, to come forward. I mean, y'all, thank God I didn't go. And thank God I don't have a story to tell other than the invitation, other than the meeting that actually happened. But there are so many out there that do. Dawn Richard of Danity Kane has come forward with her allegations of witnessing the abuse of Cassie, the fondling that alleged that he did to her, the putting her in the situations that he did. And hers was more about her professional career and, his misuse of her career, her funds, putting her in belittling situations, unsafe working conditions where he would keep her in the studio where she became sick and ill because she had nothing to eat. So then let's just talk about where that brings us now, okay? Because at the minimum, these charges are going to garner him at the minimum 15 years to life in prison. So those of you that think that he's going to get out of this, I don't think so. Anytime you have Homeland Security that raids your mansions, they're coming with a mission. They were coming by sea, land, and air, honey. So listen, it started, like I said, with the grumblings, the civil lawsuits, but Cassie's, that long list of allegations, they took it serious. I'm glad they did. But I just want to say, what would lead someone to be that sinister and evil? Because let's be clear, there's been grumblings about Diddy from back in the day when he was a student at Howard University. His at the time girlfriend, it's been alleged that he put hands on her, that he abused her, that he had beat her in front of others, allegedly. There has been Wendy Williams led the charge on some of the nastiness and the bully type ways that he handled his business. She credited him largely at having a hand in single-handedly getting her kicked off the radio station. And if you remember her story about having Total outside to jump her, that was his doing, allegedly. I will say this. This is a cautionary tale. We've seen this happen with R. Kelly. And we've said this before, that 2020s were the year of, full vision, full transparency, exposure, if you will. And it's happening, these are the big guys, the heyday of those of us in my era. I'm 51. It was a great time in music, and now we're watching all of our musical, all of those that we revered and loved their music and was a part of that narrative of our story just fall right before our eyes. But it's the money and it's the power. And sometimes when you get that amount of it, it clouds everything. It causes monsters. Let's be clear, it was in them. But my other point is there were so many people that saw things that didn't come forth. And I hope, because they didn't do, to me, a great job of it with the R. Kelly case, I hope in this case that those that were around, that saw it, that didn't say anything, they're equally as guilty. And so we're going to keep following the story. I just wanted to hop on and say my piece. Y'all, I don't take delight in reporting it, but we're going to keep covering it. And so I just wanted to hop on and say hi to you guys. I've been going on vacation. My husband's birthday was last week. And a week before that, I had some family stuff, but I am back. Have so many exciting things that are going to be happening here on the channel. I am so blessed as we continue to grow in subscribership. So all of you that have subscribed, that tune in to the content, thank you so much. I'm going to ask that you go ahead and like this video and share it and weigh in on the comments on what you think on the Sean Diddy Combs case, his allegations. I have a personal story. I don't know. I'm sure some of you do too. Or someone may, thankfully mine did not end up with anything tragic that happened, but it's a cautionary tale for young girls and guys. But I will say, we're going to keep covering the Diddy trial. So we're going to be back as things unfold. We'll be back. We will revisit this on Pop Culture Saturday. I'll be back on tomorrow to give you my Bravo Monday, Real Housewives of Orange County. Again, I have some exciting things coming up. I'm going to be doing a crossover event with the podcast Send the Survivors, True Crime. And that'll be coming in October. There's going to be more information on that. I have an interview coming up with another author of Design Your Wealth Mindset, Miss Brandy Gambles. So we're going to be bringing that to you within the next few weeks. Y'all, we are putting in the work over here. And so I just want to thank all my actualizers, all my fam for tuning in and supporting us. And Bria is back. She will be back with me on my pop culture segments. I have Nigel, Big Nige, that'll be back on Wednesday as we do our 90-Day Fiance the other way. And join me tomorrow for my Real Housewives of Orange County. It's an exciting time in Bravo. We've got Real Housewives of Salt Lake City also. That's going to be added to the roster. I will be covering that soon, doing those recaps. So you guys just have to keep coming back and tuning in. Thank you for hopping on with me for just a second. It's just a few minutes to give my 2 cents. So thank you guys for tuning in. Come back and see me tomorrow. Come back and tune in. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.